My name's Aimee Allison. I'm running for City Council in Oakland in District 2, which is the area that is all around the Grand Lake area, East Lake, Haddon Hill, China Hill, San Antonio. It's literally the heart of Oakland, and it spans the richest folks who live in Upper Crocker Highlands at the Piedmont border to the poorest folks who live 10 in a room down in Lower San Antonio. It's also the highest percentage of LGBT households in Oakland and the highest number of lesbian households in the country. It's a place that represents 24 languages. It is the center of diversity and progressivism really in the country. And I'm running because we must make in our local government and our priorities the government to support the same kinds of progressive values that put people, communities, and families and children ahead of corporate profits.
You were talking to me about the kids earlier, and could you talk to folks watching this about your concern about the kids in the area, District 2, and how, and I just want to touch on that, you know.
The motivation for running for City Council for me comes from my experience as a teacher and as someone who works in youth development. Young people in Oakland, like all across the country, have been the victims of a serious disinvestment at the local level and every level of government into their education, their recreation programs, their safety, jobs, and we need to reverse this because we're creating a community that's rife with hopelessness, rife with crime, and we must create a hopeful future for young people. And it's not just rhetoric. Because I don't take corporate or developer money, it allows me to advocate very strenuously and unapologetically that children's needs in terms of our resources, our land and our tax dollars need to be prioritized for programs for children. Everything from preschool to young people graduating from our high schools. We just came back from a huge precinct walking. Annie?
And Carol.
And Carol.
Hey. Hi. Which one of you is Annie? Which one of you is Carol?
I'm Annie.
And I'm Carol.
Okay, say something about the candidate for us.
Oh, she is a breath of fresh air for Oakland.
Yeah.
It's a very good change, real change, and what we need right now. And we're really happy that we could be a part of getting her there, because she is going to do everything she's promised to do for Oakland, which is move people forward in a positive way.
Yeah. All right, hey. So here we are at District 2. This is your area.
This is my area.
Yeah.
And this is really the Park District, Park Avenue District, is a very unique area because it's surrounded by apartments. This is the epicenter for people who have recently, in the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 years, started coming from San Francisco in droves. It's changed the nature of the district because it's young hipsters that live in this area.
And they go to places like the
Parkway Theater, Parkway Lounge.
Yeah.
There's a very active LGBT community. It's a mix of working class people with families, and this whole area is an example of a business district that has seen better days and needs to be on the upswing. We've got a crime problem along this area without a walking officer. One of the things that I hear time and time again for the thousands of doors that I've knocked on throughout the district is we've got to get walking officers in the business districts to create a sense of safety and to also have a relationship between the police department and business owners and community that doesn't exist right now. When they roll through in their black and whites, they haven't been very effective, they're not deployed, and they're nowhere where people feel like they need to be. You'll also see right here, if you just look at this sidewalk, take a look at the trash that we see on our business districts. It's totally unacceptable. The city of Oakland needs to invest in the kinds of sidewalk sweeping equipment that other large cities have. You can just look at how neglected this area looks. For a business district, it's totally unacceptable. For the small businesses here, they complain about two things: the amount of trash and these doggone parking meters. And I'll tell you something, the way our parking meter and parking enforcement policy goes way beyond as a city, us just trying to manage cars in and out of the district. It's punitive because the amount of time you get for the money is too high. It's almost San Francisco rates. And their ticketing, it's the most effective department, is their ticketing parking enforcement, and they'll tow your car even if you have tickets aren't even 24 hours old. If you have 5 tickets, it's unacceptable. So my goal is to work with the traffic enforcement department and businesses here to figure out how we can get rid of these meters and start having a policy that encourages people in these local business districts to go, you know, they can go to the laundromat, they can go to the grocery store, but they're not going to be afraid to get a ticket every time they stop in a local district. Because what happens is local neighborhood business districts are in competition with large malls, right? And malls are out in the suburbs or in Emeryville, but here is where we need to continue putting our resources in focus, because we want people to shop right here locally. And so the city has a big role to play in making that possible.
What is the response to people in the area been to? Because you pay attention to this area, I think, more than anybody else I've seen. What are the response to people here? Are they angry, disappointed, upset? Are they hopeful? I mean, in general, about the state of things, or
there's overwhelming anger about the direction our city's been going, and in fact, Oakland is not a poor city. Oakland is a city with the 11th highest income in the country and $1 billion budget. But 2/3 of our city operates in what they call redevelopment zones that hold society tax dollars in this sort of shadow government to work on supposedly capital projects that are supposed to increase the value of, it's sort of nebulous, increase the value of the community, increase the tax base. But what's happened is, because 1/3 of the city pays for the services of the entire city, we end up with shoddy basic services, so that the parks are dirty, that we have big crime problems because the police isn't available. We have a tremendous problem with just basic services. So one of the things that I support our new mayor is a call for an audit. I want to know where the money's going, and I want to know why, in particular areas, particularly below 580 where we are right now, why city services are so shoddy, even though the people in these areas pay taxes. And if you think this is bad, just go further south where the communities are even poorer, they're even darker, you know, and we'll see an even greater inequity in terms of serving people with the basic things that a city is supposed to do. So those are some of the things I've been hearing from folks, and that's really what I'm focused on doing, is bring equity to the services, you know, so people get what they pay for.
Tell me about you, where you're from, you know, where you went to school. I know you went to Stanford. I went to Cal. I don't hold that against you, but you know.
I'm a person that's lived many lives. I was in the military for 6 years and served as a combat medic, and later became an anti-war activist. I went to Stanford and was a student activist there for multicultural education. And in fact, my love of diversity and multiculturalism was fostered at Stanford as part of student groups that were based on a diverse group on progressive causes. And so I believe in diversity, and I believe in reform and progressive values. And I think my experience as a teacher, I was a high school teacher. I taught in a bilingual department in the peninsula. I taught U.S. history, and most of my kids were from Michoacan, Mexico. And then also I have been a small business person. I've worked for other people in big companies and also worked for myself, and really believe in fostering and nurturing our local, small, and disadvantaged businesses. All of that experience, I think, will be very helpful. There is no youth advocate on our city council, and as far as I can see, most of those folks don't have any actual business experience, and without experience as a business person, you don't know how to read budgets, you don't know what makes business sense, and you allow people, particularly people who can buy access, unduly influence the kind of policies or budget decisions that don't necessarily make sense for the city. So, you know, that's where I'm at. This campaign has been about uniting Oakland. Anyone who knows anything about Oakland knows there's been two Oaklands, and there's been greater and greater inequity between the haves and the have-nots, and the dividing line is MacArthur. Well, District 2 has both of those folks, and if we don't work to bring people together, to unite across race and class, economic, even party lines, to move the city forward, we're going to be in a heap of trouble. And we need an opportunity to be strong, to offer hope and vision, and offer a plan. And that's really what my campaign represents. there are hundreds of people from all walks of life who have given their time, their spirit, their energy to change Oakland. And I think what was started with the whole movement behind Dellums moving to office is finished with me getting to the District 2 seat to really say enough is enough with the insider dealing and the giveaways. It's time to focus on our own folks. It's time to make Oakland work for all the folks that live here.
How do people find you? Where's your campaign office?
Campaign office is at 3208 Grand Avenue, and it's aimeeallison.org, AIMEEALLISON.
Is there a phone number?
277-0182.
Okay, cool.
So,
Thanks.
all right, thanks.
Okay, got it.